Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to my webinar presentation. I'm Saranjit Kaur, and welcome again to my presentation. And the topic of my presentation is inclusion and diversity in childcare centers. I know you are very familiar with this topic because we have learned a lot and we have had heard both of these topics and terms throughout our program, and we have learned how to promote the inclusive environment and how to promote diversity in childcare centers. And here is my just a little contribution to promote awareness about this topic. And I have used this webinar presentations to show my ideas and my thoughts about this topic. And so let's get started with my presentation, and I'll engage you for the next 30 to 35 minutes with my presentation. Hope you're gonna like it. And thank you so much once again to watch my presentation. Here I have shared my screen with you, and without wasting any time, I'm gonna start with my presentation. So yeah, the topic of my presentation is inclusion and diversity in childcare centers. So before actual begin my webinar, I'm gonna start with such a beautiful quote by Annie Mary, and the quote says, "Successful inclusive environments create a climate of cooperation and caring that value the process of Successful inclusive environments create a climate of cooperation and caring that value the process of problem solving and learning together." And this is such a beautiful quote because the thought is like, just by simply promoting the inclusiveness in childcare centers, we could actually promote many other aspects of aspects of childcare settings like cooperation, problem solving, belonging, respectful environment, and the most important, the caring and the nurturing environment. And yeah, we should definitely promote diversity and inclusion in order to achieve these other goals, because that is what we want. That is what the educators, we want in our childcare centers and in any center, any school, any home where we are providing our services to the children. The inclusiveness, the belongingness, the respectful environment. So let's begin here. I'm gonna start with simply introducing myself. This is Taranjit Kaur. I'm a current student in Sheridan College, and my presentation is on the topic inclusion and diversity. So why did I choose this topic? So the reason behind choosing this topic and why do I love this topic the most, why this is my favorite topic, because this topic is very personal to me. This I because I have had experienced lots of discriminations and uh, and I left very behind from the children in my society, because I belong to a family where my parents are not too much educated. And when they had me and my younger sister and my elder brother, they have decided to move to a big city from a town, and the town is the town is like not that much developed, not that much updated as the big cities. And when we shifted to a big city, I have experiences lots and a lot of discrimination, and disrespectful environment, because none of the child, none of any family, any neighborhood support us. They used to make fun of us because of our appearance, because of our because we don't know, because we weren't that much smart and that much educated as their children. So what my goal from that very time when I grown up, I have studied a lot. My interest was more to the social services, and I have read a lot about how to overcome this topic, the discriminations, and how can I make my little contribution to promote the inclusive and the diverse environment. And from this well beautiful program, the early childhood education, I came to know a lot and a lot about how I can promote the diversity in childcare centers. And here it is my contribution to my favorite topics through the medium of the webinar presentation. So just to start up, it's just a simple question: how we would create an environment so that every child would get what they need. And this is questions to all the educators here: how you can promote an environment where a child will get all what they need, where child will feel that their wishes, their thoughts, their thinking is being respected, is being fulfilled, is being heard. How will you promote that environment? And the answer is very obvious: by promoting inclusion in the childcare center, by engaging children to help each other, uh, by educating children about different genders, different races, different abilities. And yes, that should be the answer. And how can promote this? How we can actually work on this answer? I will um, tell you more about in details. But before going to the main topics, I want to start with such a beautiful and a short video, and it will tell you more about what you're gonna learn and what you're gonna watch in this presentation through a simple short video. Let's get start with the short video, and let me plug out so that you can also. Okay. The 2020 Global Education Monitoring Report on Inclusion and Education believes that education is strongest when it embraces diversity. Learners should not have to adapt to the system. Instead, education systems should adapt to their needs. When students do not grow welcome, they are less likely to learn. This is everyone's loss, but rich and poor countries. How we prepare students. Yes, totally good. Good to know how it actually. Here you see that how a diverseful environment helps children and their families to live a belonged and a healthy life. Let's go to a deeper, let's go to a deeper understanding to know how we can actually help those children uh, to how those children and family to feel they belong by promoting inclusion and diversity in childcare centers by just simple resources. And I will first start with the learning outcomes. So throughout these presentations, we'll talk about how we can build a better understanding of diversity and inclusion in childcare center while talking about different races, different genders, and different abilities. We will understand the importance of promoting inclusion as an educators and how our biases affects the life of others. We will know what are personal biases and how we can educate ourselves first and then the others. Let's start with the simple thing, diversity in childcare centers. How you view diversity in childcare. The diversity refers to different cultures and beliefs, backgrounds in childcare centers. Uh, Diversity, we can promote diversity by identifying for the representations, exposing the children to different activities, materials, and interactions so that they could contribute to a greater understanding of uh, differences and different cultures. We can promote the diversity by decreasing the incidence of false stereotypes, by eliminating the negative stereotypes that are prevailing in the society, and by provoking the positive aspects of diversity and inclusion. And yeah, why it is important? We all know that diverseful and an inclusive environments allow a child to learn through observations and the interactions with children from different backgrounds, from different cultures. Diversity will be subject to uh, a diverse variety of tasks of different level of complexity, and when they have different activities that are based on different level of complexities, they will get to know that how different abilities manage those particular tasks, and how they feel, how they do the task. The children will learn by themselves. They will definitely gonna put their social skills in the real world. They will get to know how should we behave when we are outside, when we are in the classroom, and how we should behave during our real life, and how that contributes to a beautiful and positive life. Here comes our role, the role of the educators. So when everyone will be treated with dignity and compassion, when a teacher maintains a healthy atmosphere, when a teacher facilitates interactions and play between all children, when the teacher create a feeling of belonging, such as that everyone is accepted, when the teacher allow children to explore while directing them with respect and dignity, when the teacher recognizes and appreciates everyone's talents and differences. And by these particular ways, we as the educator could promote the inclusion and the diversity in such a meaningful and a positive way. And this is such a simple thing. When we show respect, they will show respect to others. When we show love, when we hear them, when we make them feel heard, they will definitely gonna hear us. They will definitely gonna listen to us. They will definitely gonna practice the positive, the accepted behaviors in the childcare centers. They will listen to you when you first start listening to them. So yes, it is very important to listen what the child is saying. The child have many curiosities, the child have many thinking, they have many thoughts, they have many questions. We should first listen to them. We should uh, react positively. We should never be respect overreacted on such a simple thing. Otherwise, they're gonna do the same thing. They we are role model to them. They will definitely gonna follow what we are doing. So it is all start with us. We should create an environment that is acceptful, that is full of dignity, empathy, that is full of respect. Then if we do that, they will definitely gonna repeat those actions, those behaviors while they are interacting with others. Let's talk about how educator biases affects the environment of the early childhood education. First and foremost, we should acknowledge the biases we have. We sometimes we thought we don't bias, we are not biased, we don't discriminate others, we make everything feel belonged and everything feel included. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes we have biases, but we should first acknowledge about them. We should learn why we had them and we should try to unlearn them. We should try to avoid those things that uh, came that result in negative behavior, negative environment in the childcare center. We shouldn't be labeling and stereotyping in front of children because they will think it's the right thing to do, and they're gonna once again they're gonna repeat the same things we are doing. We should teach them about biases in simple manners, by through the medium of books, through the medium of media like music, through the medium of songs, through the medium of visuals like paintings, like craft books, and through the medium of books and storytellings. Yes. So first and foremost, let's start with race and how we could promote race. This here particularly mean about the different cultures, the different beliefs and different thoughts. We as educators should look for teaching moments about race, genders and abilities through the medium of events, media, books, activities, and simple small groups or large group activities. Sorry, I'm kind of sleepy right now. Religion set goals to promote inclusive behavior and language. When we see a child being racist and being bullied to someone, we should never overreact to them. We should talk about them. We should talk to them about it. It's just a simple and positive manner so that they will know the limitations. They will know what should be done instead of what they have done. So yeah, having simple conversations with them will definitely gonna help to promote these simple behaviors, the accepted behaviors. Here is some examples and some examples of books and other resources that will help to promote diversity in childcare centers, especially on the topic of race and cultures. One of my favorite book is this one, Everybody is Welcome. It's such an interesting and informative informative book. It helps to promote the promote the ideas of diversity, promote the ideas of different cultures and different uh, perspectives. This book, The Day You Begin, is also such a beautiful book that also promote the idea of a diversity in such a simple manner and in such an interesting manner. Okay, so as I have talked about the biases of educators among children, when they have they then when we don't know that we are being biased to someone, but we are actually being biased to them. So how we can overcome our biases, and how and why should we have done that? This video give us more information about this particular topic, about the educator biases and how it affects the environment. Let's start this video. I'm gonna plug out earphone once again.
When we started thinking about children and programs, and particularly institute tolerance, the biggest issue is how do we respond to relationships or the way we interact with children and families? Too often, teachers see children lacking.
You see, the educators in this video beautifully the convey the ideas and the effects of educator biases on children as well as on their families. And I personally believe that it is very important to think how we can provide an environment to children and their families by promoting awareness about race, gender, and diversity for the holistic development of the child by just simply eliminating our biases and by being open minded. And yes, it is very important to be open minded, to be a person that is respecting others, believes others, thinking, because that really helpful to show the children how we should behave in the society we are living. So let's start with first with the diversity. How we can promote diversity, gender diversity in childcare centers. Here are some of the examples that will be very helpful for us, for educators to promote the gender diversity in the childcare centers, to educate children about the different genders, to educate children that gender is not what we have from the birth. It is more about how we feel and how the way we feel, and it is more about educating children uh, to accept what they have, what they feel, and how to be mindful to share their feelings with the person they believe on. And here's my favorite topic: promoting abilities. Promoting abilities here means how we promote the different disabilities in childcare center and how we can promote it for the future. How this is also includes the following slides also includes how we can promote the different disabilities and abilities in childcare centers by just putting all the children in one childcare centers and by following some basic rules. Promoting disabilities abilities means discussing various abilities with children, leading by examples and modeling inclusive activities. Embracing similarities and differences by educate ourselves as well as students about this particular subject, and by having a serious discussions over the topic of bullying. In order to promote the abilities, different abilities, I have mentioned some of the books that are very helpful for you as well as for the children to get to know more about the different abilities and how we should be respectful and how we should help others, like people with different varying abilities, to live such a positive and such a um, gladful life, so that they will never be feel discriminated, they will never feel disrespected. And these simple books, these are short books, help too much. They have so much because they are very helpful for us, the educators, as well as for the children. They get to know more and more about when they saw the visual images and visual guidance through the medium of simple activities like reading activities and music activities. Let's see another video um, here, and this is such a beautiful video because this talks more about how by simply putting all the children together in the childcare centers helps to promote the main topic, diversity and inclusion, in such a easy and helpful way. Let's start the video here. Again, let me plug out my earphone so that you can hear the sound clearly.
I felt nervous, very nervous. Um, I was with him the whole time and to hand him over. It's nerve wracking. Every question is whether you're talking about children or just children that have had different life experiences up until this point. Look at your environment differently and how the environment to do what your friends are doing and to have children the expectation that they're going to sit and do one specific thing at any given time. It doesn't always work out, but when it's an itinerary model, that are which is really turned into that all we can sure something one
This was such a beautiful and emotional video. I like this video a lot because I just love the way how the child the child got benefited by just simply put in together with children from with or without um, wearing disabilities, and just how the just by putting uh, just being surrounded with the children of different abilities and with the children having full abilities help that particular child in developing his skills by the passage of time. And I love how the grateful and how grateful the parents were from the benefits they had from that particular child care centers. And yeah, it is very important. This is what we want, what we as an educator want, that we somehow, anyway, could help a child to live a positive and healthy lifestyles. The, yeah, the last thing, I guess it is the last thing, yes, including parents, how inclusion of parents in the childcare centers help promoting our ideas of inclusion and diversity. When children parents feel included when they have open conversations with the educators, when they tell us about what the abilities the child has and what they doesn't have, and what are the things they needed to polish in the child, and what are the things that the child uh, are refraining from, and having such kind of open and healthy conversation with the parents will definitely help to promote to help the particular child to live a beautiful and a great life. And we as educators should stay honest, positive, and proactive with the families, because there is a lot of information that we can get from parents that we couldn't get by simply observing the child. We should be prepared. We should be prepared that parents could even deny or could not understand what we want to say to them. So we should have simple conversations, daily meetings, weekly meetings, or monthly meetings with the parents to and have the conversation about the child, about what they believe, what their family believe, and what the effects the society is putting on them. We as educators should show them modeling curiosity through the ways of activities, and that show the parents how their child is doing and what the child just recently uh, developed like the skills, so that the parent could also get benefits from it. They could also follow the same things we are following in the childcare center, so that they could also help the child to develop those particular skills that we are trying to develop in the child, so that we can work jointly, work together to promote and to develop those particular skills in children. And yes, this was just a brief information that how parents and we could help a particular child to develop those skills by making a diverseful environment in the childcare centers as well as at home. So yeah, that was all. That was my presentation on the topic inclusion and diversity. Hope you had enjoyed and get something from my presentation. I hope you have liked my the varieties of videos I have used. And thank you so much again for watching my webinar. Hope you have found it helpful and interesting. And you could also go to the link I have provided at the bottom. It is about the actual webinar on the topic diversity and inclusion. I have gained a lot of information from this particular webinar, and you could also go to the Hi Mama website and you could watch the webinar number 17 on the topic diversity and inclusion. Thank you so much once again, and bye bye from my side.